Hello guys, my name is Miludi Wanjiru. Welcome to our podcast, our new series of the podcast, and I'm glad because we have guests with me. And do not forget, this podcast is under Maono Center for Transformation. Na nataka hii podcast iende into series. So today we'll be talking about GBV, but generally. And then later we'll get to deeper details. Sindio? So before we continue, let me introduce my guests. Wenye wako hapa, naona wako na mamioto, like they have points. Wako loaded for today, so karibuni sana.
I should start, sorry. Hi, my name is Lois Atieno, Program Manager at Maono Africa Center for Transformation, and I'm glad to be on this show today, Melody. Thank you so much for the invite.
Welcome.
Hi everyone, naitwa Arnold Oburo Ginga. Mimi ni mwanahesabatia huku Maono Africa Center for Transformation, na karibuni sana.
So, I guess I have the best team with me on this podcast. Before even we continue with the podcast, I want to remind everyone, comment, share, and also usisahau ku click on that button so that you get the notification kila time yenye tuna upload a new series ama a new episode at our podcast. Don't forget. Plus, sharing the information won't hurt you at any cost. So just share our information. Ikikubamba, we comment hapo. Ukisikia ni kama we need to talk about something else ama into details, pia tuambie tu hapo chini. Do not forget to do that. So tuingie sasa kwa GBV. GBV ni nini? Sijui kuna mwenye atatuambia kwa Kiswahili alafu kwa Kizungu. Ladies first.
Nasema tu translate. Kwa Kiswahili inasemwa dhulma za kijinsia.
Okay.
Kwa Kiswahili.
Gender-based violence in English. Yes.
Just like that. So simple.
Yes.
Iko na kajina kadogo, but whatever it has done in the community is the worst. Yeah. So let us get to understand what are the types of GBV before even we get to the forms of GBV, because we tend to confuse. Hapa kwa types and forms. Yeah.
Oh, great question. Maybe we can just have a definition of the GBV first. And for me, define GBV as any form of harm subjected to an individual based on gender. It can, or sexual orientation. It can be sexual, physical, or psychological. Yeah. So dhulma zote za kijinsia zinazoelekezwa kwako kama binadamu kuhusiana na anyway.
So psychological and emotional are together.
Kinda. Yeah. Emotional GBV, psychological GBV. Emotional deals with feelings, psychological deals with the psyche. So they have a thick line, but we can just have them together for now. But we have an episode on that to expound on the forms of GBV in our next series.
Okay.
Yeah.
So tumeongea kuhusu types. Himself.
Yeah, so basically gender-based violence is any form of violence that is directed to an individual because of the sex or the gender that this person belongs to. Yes, so tukiweza ongelea about the types of gender-based violence, kuna economical. Yes, so economical, for example, in the past, people used to perceive ladies as a gender that is not entitled to job opportunities in the society. So unapata like kitambo, watu, especially ladies, hawakuwa wanapata government job opportunities, these big positions, which even currently in the current situation, like even if the government has come up with ways of uplifting the rights of the girl child, but bado unapata tu like majority of the top positions are just dominated by men. Yes, so that is one form of one type of gender-based violence that is economical, denying one gender opportunities because they are perceived to be ladies or because of the sexual orientation that they belong to. Yes.
So you have talked about the financial or the economical right?
Yes.
The economical one. Lois, can you tell us ingine moja?
Type of GBV?
Yeah.
The most common type of GBV is the sexual violence, whereby we have individuals causing harm to other individuals sexually. Yes. Either they try to do it or they do it. So in sexual violence, you have things like rape, we have defilement, we have sexual harassment, someone just deciding to rape you because they feel like you're a weak human being as a lady. Yeah, let me leave it like that.
Another type,
Yeah.
So we also have physical gender-based violence. That is any act that is performed to an individual that will cause physical injury or physical discomfort kwa mtu. So for example, assault, mtu kupigwa, inaweza kuwa ni mwanamke, si wanaume peke yao ndio huwa wanapiga wanawake. Sometimes the ladies who slap men. Yes. Yeah, and it happens in the current society. So hiyo ni physical gender-based violence. It causes physical harm or discomfort to a person.
So let me bring up a scenario, some example. Tuseme Lois, somehow you see the buttons that umefunga, and then for example, you have missed moja hapa maijafunga, sindo? And then for the case of him, a notice, and he's like, no, enye nafani muambie afunge because I don't feel like she's even in a safe place, you know. So he tries because anakuambia and you're like, this guy, nini ananiambia, like anakuambia tu even you're like, nini ananiambia, and everyone is looking at you, you know. So he tries to help you. Now wewe uko like, he's touching, he's I don't know what. At the end of it all, he suffers, and maybe you know how the community is, you know. So inamuattack. So hiyo tunaweza relate aje?
Amejaribu kufunga button.
Yeah, he is protecting you from
what exactly?
Exposure, maybe.
I'm trying to put myself in his shoes.
As much as we're trying to assume this scenario, let us be realistic. Am I showing my body? Which part of my body is making him uncomfortable? Is it my tummy? Is it my boobs? Understand? Or maybe the button is just not like well buttoned in this ready.
Yeah.
Why is this so uncomfortable with my t-shirt not unbuttoned? Am I showing off my body? Maybe it's a swag. Maybe it's my swag. I've seen ladies wearing shirts like this halfway and it's swag. So for him to come and touch me without my consent, I don't feel it's appropriate, number one. Number two, that is me, a person who is the third party. Even let's say my mom, I'm with my mom and a guy tries to button my shirts on. Definitely my mom will beat this guy. Number one, he's a stranger. Why is he touching me? You understand? Is he trying to undress me? Like you say, people can easily misjudge or misunderstand whatever is happening between me and this person. So the outcome, it's up to him. It's not up to me.
So at no cost should you help anyone, okay?
Not really, I'm not saying that.
Ukipata anatembea something is a mess. Hey, funga macho
No. You just politely address the issue. Like, hi, excuse, I've noticed that your button is, or your shirt is, but you don't have the authority to come or the consent to even touch me. Don't touch me. Maybe it's my swag. If it's my swag, I'll tell you, hi, that's my swag. If it's something that maybe I didn't notice, I'll be like, okay, thank you so much, and do it on my own. But you don't have the right to just come out of nowhere. I'm not even in need of your help. I'm trying to, fix my shirt. Unless it's stained with blood. That is what I've been seeing around. Maybe a girl will stain with blood, and someone comes and covers with a lasso. That's acceptable. But the shirt, no.
Aya, swali. For example, let's say msichana alikuwa anaenda kugongwa na gari. Alafu here is the man, mimi niko hapo. Alafu I accidentally grab her.
Where?
Nijipate tu nimeshika tu any part of the body, but I've saved her from that danger. So how do you perceive that? Is it GBV how would you perceive that?
There's no consent according to laws,
No,
right?
no.
But at the same time, you have saved a life.
Yes.
Number one, I need you guys to understand that is a matter of safety maybe. Gari ilikuwa inataka kunigonga, akanisaidia. Whether amenigrab mahali popote, it is fine. But these are the scenario. Nimeketi tu peke yangu ama nimesimama. Anakuja from nowhere, a total stranger, kwanza kufunga shati yangu. As who? It is not acceptable. If I start yelling, mwezi, because I honestly don't know. Anaingia kwa mfuko yangu, you know, it's like what I'm saying is just come politely and address your issue. Hi, madam. Hi, sir. I've noticed that your zip is unzipped. Because, okay, honestly, can you just come from there and try to unzip your trouser? So it doesn't figure. But nikikuja nikutoe kwa gari sikugonge, hiyo iko sawa. So we cannot classify that as GBV. We cannot. Because I'm not doing any harm. We define GBV as any type of harm. I'm saving you from a moving car. That is not harm. But when I'm trying to unzip your trouser in public spaces without your consent, without your knowledge, and I'm a total stranger, you're in a position to define that situation the way you want. Yes.
Nice. So before you help someone, do it politely. Ongea, use your mouth. Do not just rush and help, you see? Because people might perceive in a different way, right?
Yes.
So, so far so good, right?
Yeah.
Sasa nataka mniambie, what are these causes? Ni causes gani zenye zifanya hii ulihitaji kwa Kiswahili? Tafadhali nikukumbushe.
Kuna type moja yenye hatujasema bado ya psychological. Yes, na hiyo niliona Lois alikuwa explain vizuri. Labda unaweza guzia tu kidogo psychological gender based violence.
Psychological gender based violence. Yes. Hii ni violence inashika psyche yako. Like uni mtu hakupigi, hakuguzi, lakini kule ndani anakuattack very bad.
Anakuumiza roho.
Anakuumiza. For example, we can have someone doing what? Okay, first of all, every form of violence, every form of GBV has to be in one way or another the psychological or the emotional part in it. For example, you're sexually abused. For example, you're raped. Huyu mtu mwenye amerepiwa, sawa, amepitia sexual violence. Number 2, kumekuwa na physical harm. Hapo kuna hiyo physical violence. But the long-term effect will be the traumatic event that happened during the abuse. Yes. So kisaikolojia atakuwa na msumbuko wa mawazo.
Atakuwa anajisumbua sana akiconsider vile watu wanampassive kwa society. Kila mtu anasema huyu alikuwa raped.
No, that psychological torture, it is there constant. No matter which form of violence you're experiencing, no matter how small or big it is, it's up to you to decide whether you can deal with it and go for counseling rather. But the psychological torture mostly inakuanga hapo. Kwa sababu ukishapigwa vizuri upigwe. Huyu mtu akienda utabaki ukilia. Utabaki ukijuta sasa ananipiga kwa sababu sina uwezo, ananipiga kwa sababu sina mahali pa kuenda. No, that is what comes handy with emotional violence.
So it's more like a scar. It's there.
Inbuilt.
It's long term.
Inbuilt.
But you can work on it. You can work on the psychological part by taking care of yourself, going for counseling, doing some self-care routines, knowing and accepting that whatever happened, and you need to let it go and heal. And it's a journey, it's not a one-day thing.
So, nikitaka kurudi bado kwa point yako about the psychological ones, I guess sometimes it's not like I'm right saying this, sometimes sisi ndo true jitake hizi GBV. Because kama ni psychological one, si nimepigwa the first time, the second time, the third time. Alafu maybe something else is happening to me. I'm not speaking out. Siulizi usaidizi. At the end of it all, si mimi ndo natafuta hiyo the type of, is it the type I'm for? You're helping me guys to differentiate between types. Msinyamaze hivyo. So, would I be right saying that sometimes sisi ndo tunajitakianga kuwa in such situations? in having the GBV cases and leading to a big scar in our lives. Or in
I
our
think
marriage.
I think that leads to maybe the next session that we had earlier brought on. That is about the causes of the gender-based violence. Yes, for example, umeongelea about like huu mtu ana persevere regardless of the difficult situations huu mtu ana face. Maybe ni girl child. Kwao amekosa hata school fees. Amepata boyfriend, ako na potential ya kumlipia school fees, and provide for the basic needs. Na at again, of course, maybe sexual gain. So utapata huyu msichana atavumilia tu. Of course, atakuwa amepitia vitu mingi, anapigwa. But so long as tu apate ile tu school fees, aweze kukula, aweze kuvaa vizuri, atarudia tu kwa huyu mtu. Not knowing that what will be the next the next course of action that this guy will do. For example, mtu anaweza muua.
Yeah.
And so I think at that point we also need to bring up education, is it civic or just training and just creating awareness, general awareness about these causes of gender-based violence, and how we can even improve we can help people improve their living standards, maybe through uplifting them, through capacity buildings and such kind of things, so that people get enlightened.
Maybe too.
Another maybe cause of one of the causes of GBV is drug and substance abuse. Mwanaume anaenda analewa, alafu jioni anakuja anakupiga, alafu anasema alikuwa amelewa. Aki baby pole, nilikuwa nimelewa. I was drunk. Ni pombe. Nikiwa soba siongeani hivyo. Ni pombe. So it might or might not be true. But honestly, why are you indulging in drug and substance abuse for you to do something that is causing harm to an individual? So it has been a cause that many people regard as an excuse when it comes to GBV, because a person will tell you, I was high, I abused alcohol, that's why I defiled a minor. You see, but logically it is not making sense. You understand? So, yeah, that is one cause of GBV.
So tumeongelelea about drugs, abuse of drugs, and poverty. So ingine tunaweza sema hapo ni war, acts of war. Yes, so for example unapata kama vile tulikuwa na war with Somali, alafu soldiers wetu tumewatuma huko, maybe wanapata wasichana huko wana rape, unaona. So that could be it leads to gender-based violence. Yes, so war is a contributing factor. It's a cause of gender-based violence. And then also, like unapata in circumstances of war, people get like they move from their home to another place. They displaced. People get displaced. So when they get displaced, unapata wengine wako kwa camps. How people perceive them, you see this, that kind of, it can lead to also such kind of emotional torture, psychological,
I feel like this topic is deep and deep and deep. Hatuwezi malizia like everything sindio. But now to the last question. Have you faced GBV?
It's a question for all of us.
Yeah.
Okay. Have you faced GBV?
Have you ever?
Yeah. At some point, I believe you can be a perpetrator and also a survivor. What do I mean? So I'll talk about an experience, and it's more of an intimate partner violence, whereby I used to date a guy who was very charming, extremely. But the bad thing with this person was that mikono yake ilikuwa rahisi. Alikuwa na mikono rahisi. So when you just come across something that maybe annoys him, and you get in an argument, he'll easily slap you. And for me, I don't take that slightly. So at first I warned him. But he normally used to slap me on Thursday, and on Friday I'd get a ticket to Mombasa. So I always know, like, tukipigana nipige hivi, kesho niko kando ya bahari nikipanguza machozi na maji ya bahari. So unajua inafanga salt. Yeah. So for me, at some point, it was nice. It felt nice because, you know, going to Costo, having fun, taking pictures, getting gifts. But it reached a point I was like, I'm trying to prolong this thing. Like, I'm not doing myself any justice by staying in this relationship and getting these slaps oftenly just because of a cost trip. So I was like, at what cost? I mean, at the end of the day, these things will escalate, and it will reach a point where this guy will even stab me, or maybe push me across like a building or a road, nigongo na gari nikufe. But mimi niko hapa kwa sababu unajua nikigongo leo kesho nitaenda Mombasa. So yeah, I've been a survivor of GBV, of IPV per se. And at some point we tend to tolerate it because of the benefits that comes with it. Normally, as ladies, you get yourself in a relationship whereby you are abused or you're violated either way. But now you tend to stay because of the benefit. Hata kupiga akuletee chipo, hata kupiga kesho mtenda Mombasa, hata kupiga atumie mama yako 10,000. You see, so those benefits are the things that normally keeps us intact with this relationship. But you need to ask yourself, at what cost? Am I really ready to get killed for a Mombasa trip? Sawa, the guy will buy you an iPhone 15, 14 Pro Max. But at what cost? Will you lose a leg for you to get this iPhone just because you want to trend or to be on those high top-notch levels? You understand? So yeah, I've been GBV.
I also heard you mentioned about IPV,
yes,
the intimate partner violence, right? Some of us do not know how to differentiate maybe between the GBV and the IPV, right? So that's another session that we'll be having so that we are able to educate our viewers. So to you now, have you been into such a situation?
Yes, I think Nisha experience gender-based violence.
Really? Tell us.
But nafikiri ni mimi ndio nilikuwa nimejitakia because nilikuwa kwa relationship na huyu msichana. Okay, nilikuwa nampenda, yes, but she was kind of extorting me like each and every time. Ilikuwanga tu ni pesa. So kama kuna pesa, relationship hakuna kuongea. She doesn't even text, she doesn't pick calls. So unaona hapo at some point nilikuwa psychologically tortured. So nilikuwa nafikiria huyu msichana kama sijampatia kitu mazee, hii love mazee haiendi mahali. So labda kufunzwa kwa watu wengine, relationship kama hiyo we need to be very proactive, alafu ujue like what kind of relationship works for you. Usikae pale na unaumia, labda sikuwa na pesa ya kutosha ya kupea huyu msichana at that time, but in the long run mimi ndo na end up naumia. So we also need to look into that. Uangalie tu, if a relationship is not working, at least try and find somebody who is reasonable, somebody who understands your status, and somebody who can grow with you together. Yes.
Nice one. So, nilisema zingine ni za kujiekea, in as much as GBV it's so stressful. So, no, amesema ilikuwa kujiekea, si ndio? So, I want you to give us a parting shot of 30 seconds.
Sorry?
Parting shot ya 30 seconds to our viewers on GBV cases, ama on GBV matter. Okay.
So, my fellow youths out there, what I can just tell you, wacheni niwaambie, kama haiwork. If it's not working, it's not working. Number 2, like the second thing you need to keep in your head, at what cost? At what cost are you tolerating this harassment, this violence, this harm that is being directed to you for a benefit of a car, an iPhone, a trip to Mombasa? Understand? Put yourself first, love yourself, and just go with your pace. Nasemanga ipo siku. Hiyo iPhone unataka ipo siku. Yeah. Thank you.
So to my fellow youths, parents who are watching, So mine is just to caution you guys, just always remain proactive. Whenever you see any form of gender-based violence happening to your neighbors, guys, pick it up.
Yeah.
It is only it's only courteous enough to help a neighbor who is maybe as about to die because of gender-based violence. Huyo jirani yako ambaye anapigwa na bwana yake, huyu mtoto wako, maze, let's help them and also educate them. If you have something there as a parent or even as a young youth who has money, try and bring this education, bring them to enlighten them so that they don't experience such kind of violence. So mine tu ni kuwasi kama good Kenyans and people of good humanity, saidiane tuondoe hii mambo ya gender based violence. Asanteni sana.
And I'm glad because tumemaliza the first session ama the general view of GBV. So you can't afford to miss hizo sessions zingine because we'll be digging deeper and deeper, and I wouldn't mind to have you again on this podcast so that we get to talk more and more. Alafu pia we shine some light to watu pale kwa society, they get to know I'm not a punching bag. And it doesn't have to be the female, it also happens to the male. Alafu nyinyi ndo mnafinyiliwa kimawazo, si ndio?
Yes.
Alafu pia something else yenye nimenote, usijitafutie GBV if it doesn't work for you. Walk out.
Walk out.
As in, you have a choice and you can say this is working for me and this isn't working for me. So it has been the best podcast that I have ever done because it's interactive. Na umeweza kutuongelesha pale. Now, nikitoka hapa, I'm equipped, like I know what to do in the society and I know what to do maybe to my partners or to people there outside. No.
Sure.
So till next time, but before niende usisahau kucomment, kushare and also kufinyako ka button. Na pia ushare kwa watu wengi so that we get to have a more fan base in our podcast and also creating traffic on our socials. Kwaheri.